Welcome to my revision of my American history notes that I've already published, already put out there, and I'm trying to see what I want to add more to, change, or dig deeper into. So let's pick it up where I left off last time. So with the failure of the Albany Plan of the Union to unite the colonies in common defense, the loosely administered imperial system continued on. Benjamin Franklin was dismayed when he went to England to plead Pennsylvania citizens' grievances against the proprietor family of the colony, the Penns, to them and to the British government. The understanding was that the colony's assembly would write a law which the king would have the power to veto or assent to, and once the act became law, it could not be revoked by the king. Now he was being told, after the 7 Years' War, that the king was the administrator of the colonies, and that what he gave the governor as instructions after having carefully being considered by the British judiciary and government would be law. The former case would be cooperation through representative government with the authority of the king as enabled by Parliament. The latter would be autocratic government bypassing the representatives of the people of the colonies. This was unacceptable to Americans who have been used to having at least a modicum of respect shown to the representative form of self government. You see what's happening here? When George II died in 1760, all royal commissions were revoked. The king began appointing judges without regard to the wishes of the colonial assemblies. He had always had this right in America, but easygoing royal governors had made appointments to please the assemblies. Not anymore. The New York governor, acting on the king's orders, had appointed a judge that the assembly did not want from Boston, but the assembly refused to vote him a salary. They were then ordered to pay him out of the general fund. Some colonies simply went without courts for several years out of resentment. The idea that if judge was executing his duties properly, the crown would leave him alone was a right had in England, and since the glorious revolution of 1688. This quote tenure for good behavior was something the colonists, as good Englishmen, believed they should have as well. The caprice of the king in deciding who should be judge and who should continue to be judge stirred people to resentment. So from 1763 for the next 12 years, the statesmen and heroes of the colonies wished for things to be the way they had been before George III took power. John Adams even said that the old colonial system would be preferred to revolt. A new set of heroes arose in the colonies after the French and Indian Wars, usually in their 20s and 30s over constitutional issues. Christopher Gadsden resisted an attempt of the royal governor of South Carolina in 1762 to void elections to the assembly of people he disliked and was successful. Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson came to the front on the Two-Penny Act. Thomas McKean fought with the governor of Pennsylvania. John Moran Scott led opposition to the Quartering Act. James Otis and the Adamses came forward on the Writs of Assistance and Revenue Act in Massachusetts. So we're going to talk a little bit about nationalism next, the growth of it, the birth of it, and I hope that you'll feel free to make comments if you want to add something to what I said or would disagree with it. Show me some citations so I can learn from you. And please click like if you watch this. Thank you.